I want to become a Vtuber. Yeah, I thought I'd change the line from I want to create an anime opening for this one, since while the designing experience has certainly been elucidating and the experience will certainly serve me well going forward, this video is all about my Vtuber design and drawing process. Last video I showed off some initial designs, and I can say the core of those designs have stayed consistent, though they've gotten a little bit of a facelift. So first, let's go through my design process, where things have changed and how things were drawn. Let's get right into it. Let's start with the one I've started rigging at the time of the script. You see, it isn't entirely obvious on the We Attempt New Things channel, but my streaming name and my gaming name in general is Blob.A.N.T, which thankfully gave me a straightforward theme to design towards. A blob. So I started looking at various blobs for inspiration. Now, and I have had this slip of the tongue many a time, but something quite blobby also goes by a different name. A slime. And really, those were the basis of the inspiration for the design. I mean, one of the few actual blobs in pop culture zeitgeist is the Blob, and the vision that I had for my cute little VTuber was not one of a monstrous murderous creature from beyond the stars, but just that, something cute. So, slimes it was. Nice, shiny, small, and round. So looking at existing slimes and pictures of jelly, I came up with the initial design. Now, this was alright, pretty good even, but it was missing something. Thinking back to my VTuber analysis, I needed something on my head, some sort of identifying feature. Hard when I didn't have hair, per se. Now, ears or horns wouldn't fit with the general aesthetic, but something else would. A little wiggly wobbly blobby bobby. This was important as I wanted an identifying feature that stayed consistent between my different forms, the base idea being that I was a transforming blob, and while I only had the blob and human form in mind so far, I wanted something to link them, and the wiggle wobble blobby bobble would do just that. The first idea was fairly basic, and I wanted something more, so I thought, well, how do I clearly link this to me? Well, taking inspiration from the design of the silhouette of Shy Lily and how her tail met with her hair part to complete a heart shape, what if I had my sorta hair bits kind of look like something? And well, my name is Blob.A.N.T, so why not a bee? So the bee hair blob thing was born, and it's already paying some dividends in regards to designs moving forward. For example, I was creating concepts for follower notifications and other stuff like that, and so I wanted a little follower blob. Well, if I've got a B on my head, for Blob.A.N.T, I'll put an A on the follower's head. Heck, I can have a whole alphabet created using the same concept. Alright, what about other features? For the blob form, frankly not many. The benefit of a simplified form is also its drawback. It's simple, memorable, and also you can't add too much to keep it that way, especially when it's so small and compact. So I added a couple of shiny eyes, reflections, and a couple of little extra blobby bits, and coloured it in, which, again, was another important decision. The colour of my blob form will be determining my colour scheme going forward. Now, many a slime are blue. The iconic Dragon Quest slime, Rimuru from Reincarnated as a Slime, so blue was off the table. So instead, I went for green. After doing some minor research and determining that green was an underserved colour in the VTuber community. So a green blob was created, and after 2 versions it was ready to start rigging, which I'll cover next video. This one is about design after all. So now I'll move on to the human design. This was considerably more complicated than the cute little blob, my complete inability to draw bodies notwithstanding. Well, I better start with the face. Actually, before I drew the initial blob, I did sketch out a potential design long ago, and here it is. A super basic face, hair with a little tuft thingo, green colour scheme and a headband. I kind of just drew it on a whim as part of my morning drawing practices, which you can catch on twitch.tv/blob@mcnuggets. I already was thinking of my as of yet non-existent blob form when I drew this, which is why the hair and eyes were green. Then a month later, and after drawing the blob, I drew version 2. You can see the design starting to take form, as well as some ideas that I tried out that didn't stick. But let's work from the top down. The bee hair part has now been transferred to the actual hair of the human form. Unlike the version 1 form though, the version 2 went for more of a hair made out of green slime look than the actual hair of the first version. To give it a sort of semi-transparent look, I made it so that the shape of the head underneath the blob hair was visible by making it a little bit darker. Something that I updated is the slime look seeping over the headband. The headband in this version with the We Attempt New Things acronym on it. Face-wise, the features are mostly the same as version 1, though with a slightly different styled nose and thinner eyebrows. I also tried to emphasize the green, going with that transformed blob idea. To that end, one sort of success was making the inside of the mouth and tongue green. That didn't look too bad. One thing that did look bad, and that I didn't carry over to design version 3, was trying to give the character a green blush. It didn't work at all. With a peach skin tone, a green tint to the skin just makes the character look ill. Now, this version of the character was created during my first body week, a week where I practiced, or in this case, learned, how to draw bodies. The body itself was a mixed result, but it did give me a canvas to practice drawing clothes on. First idea was, why not also make the clothes a blob? Goopy looking sleeves, the silhouette of the body underneath, that shiny, slimy sheen? It looked okay. Just kind of okay. I did like having the goopy sort of neckline, but that did necessitate an undershirt of some kind. I mean, I didn't want to try and draw a chest, my anatomy still needs a lot of work. That meant I needed to pick my secondary or contrasting colour, and for green that would be purple, so I drew a basic purple undershirt. Like all the other VTubers I referenced in my last design video, I thought I needed an accessory, so I drew a quick belt and called it a day. I knew this wouldn't be my final design, so I didn't go too deep into it. Rather, I was satisfied with the improvements I had already made on my initial design, as well as the new ideas that I could expand upon in my next version. Which brings me to version 3, my current design which, while I haven't finalized everything when writing the script, it's more or less what I'm going to be going with, and what I plan to start rigging at the time of writing the script again. Once again, let's work our way down. First, the bee is bigger. Since it's one of the character's main signifiers, I wanted to stick it out more. I also simplified the hair. The last one was a bit messy around the ears with some strands overlapping other strands. It was just a bit all over the place. Now, keeping the idea of the silhouette in mind, I opted for something more simple. 2 strands in, 2 strands out, little blobby bit on the top. The little blobby bit on top did start with the last design, but I prefer the way that it looks in this one. Headband for now is purple, though I plan on making many headbands to suit different streams. One for art, one for Chinese, one for gaming, and so on. The next change is the eyebrows. I mean, if the hair is a blob, why not make the eyebrows a blob as well? Since I was hoping to make this one a somewhat final design, I took extra care when doing the nose, eyes, and mouth. The nose I picked a design that looked like it would be a bit easier to rig, the eyes I tried to make them nice and pretty, and the mouth I split into multiple parts in order to better rig it. The final minor change was going to be a more square jaw style head shape. No real reason, I just liked it better. Onto the outfit. Moving away from the literally goopy blob outfit and more into the figuratively blobby outfit, what sort of outfit is blobby? Well, at least in my mind, it's a super oversized jumper. My first attempt was a little skin tight, so to say, and I tried to have the sort of blobby symbol in the center of the chest, but when combined with the pants, well, it looked like I had fairly incorrect proportions. So trying to draw it didn't work out, but I still liked the idea, so I did the next best thing. I took photos of myself in the poses I wanted the arms to be in my very own oversized jumper. Thanks, Grandma, and I sketched over it. Yup, I may not be able to draw an original big jumper, but literally sketching over an image of one, that works. I also decided to go for a slightly more dynamic pose, though only slightly, making a hand rest on the waist instead of just having both hands by the side, and that same hand, because drawing hands is difficult, would be nestled deep within the extra long sleeve. The goopy sigil went away and instead went back to its original idea in version 2, back to the collar. I also redrew the pants. The first attempt was a bit over-wrinkled and standing a bit far apart. The second stance looked a lot more natural and casual. After all, that's the sort of feel I was going for, a casual, chilled one. Minus the feet, something I still haven't drawn by this script, and honestly may never exist, I was satisfied with the design. So I ran it by the same checks that I ran the other 4 VTuber models through. Silhouette, colors, and identifiers. I'll do colors first since it's the easiest. I'm sticking to 2 strong colors, primary, green, and secondary, purple. I'm going the Iron Mouse route, using multiple shades of green, as she uses multiple shades of pink and purple, but undeniably green as the, when I think of Blobbit, what color do I think of? Secondary of purple because it's the contrasting color, not much of a reason beyond that to be entirely honest. I'm floating using blue as a third color for some very minor highlights. I was on stream the other day, relative to this script, thinking about minor additions to the design that I'll mention in a moment. And I'm thinking of having something blue since it matches the color of the follower in my follower Twitch alert. But yes, 2, potentially 3 colors, nice and simple. Silhouette is next, and I did a silhouette test with what I had. It wasn't bad necessarily, but it did look a bit plain. The head starts strong, the B in the hair being a nice obvious identifier, and the hair is simple enough. I took care when doing the arm on the hip to leave a slight gap so that it was obvious the pose was being done, and the rolled up sleeve is also pretty obvious as well, but it was missing something. I did have an idea though, one that was actually in my original clothing design, so I drew a silhouette tester sketch for it, and yeah, a scarf. What did I say in my Vtuber video? Have a tail or something serving the same purpose? A long scarf does indeed fulfill that role, and I have enough space in the neck that having a scarf won't merge the head and the body silhouettes. Now, I have to draw the thing. Finally, signifiers. First off, the B again, but I've talked about that enough. Though, as a whole, the fact that the hair itself is not hair but rather a blobby substance is also an identifier. With the addition of the scarf, that works as well, and the blobby neckline, where if I introduce future outfits, I'll try and keep that consistent. The arm hidden in the sleeve could be another one, but it's very outfit dependent, so I'll hold off. Another one, though, could be the blobby eyebrows. They look a bit goofy, but out of the VTuber designs I've seen, I'd definitely say that they're unique. The final couple of potential signifiers are relatively recent additions, in collaboration with a viewer on the same recent stream, a couple of earrings, and potentially a little face tattoo, mostly hidden under the hair and most likely the same B symbol. But yeah, I'd give the model a passing grade on the 3 categories, even if my drawing ability isn't there just yet. So I guess that's it. Blob design and human, or as I like to call them, human design. The blob one, as of this script, has been pretty much rigged. Its simple design serving really well for practice, and the human one having slight modifications done to the actual file in order to make it more rig-friendly once I finally import it into Live 2D. Speaking of which, if you want to join me in rigging the human model, catch me at twitch.tv/blobbermcnuggets. It's quite the slow and arduous process, but I'm learning a lot. I've got a lot of important videos coming out soon. I've nearly been on YouTube for an entire year, can you believe it? So the video about rigging both models likely won't be out for a month or 2. Though I'll try and get some of my Twitch VODs of me rigging up my models on the Blobber McNugget Stream VOD channel. If you've got any tips for me rigging human models or any great tutorials, I've been following a lot by Searfire, they're really good. Let me know in the comments down below. Like with my viewers on Twitch who have helped contribute to the design, I appreciate all of you as well. After all, it's we attempt new things, not I attempt new things. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a fruitful day.